Good morning, it's Manor York here. So, today is just a short call-in, just to say hello to everyone and to share some nice footage that I took at the end of summer before autumn really takes us. And autumn really is kicking off as well. The weather is getting very cold and damp as usual like you get at this time of the year. And I've been getting into the festive spirit of things by reading horror stories, and also I've got a very strange ritual of watching a horror movie every night of October. It's called Horrorthon. It's like a challenge, and I've done that for the past 4 years, and every year I get a little bit more scarred and disturbed from the experience. By the end of October, I'm more like a shivering wreck than a man by the end of it. But housekeeping, I'm smoking my Peterson Pipe of the Year, and in it I'm enjoying some GLP's Laurel Heights, courtesy of Jeffrey from Pipes Etc. And I promised you a review, Jeffrey. I won't give it today, but I am enjoying it. This is my first taste, a first impression of it, and I am pleased. It's really nice. You see, I'm still on my pipe smoking journey, and I mainly smoke English blends, and so I wanted to try out more Virginia blends and things, and so this is like a really nice introduction to the world of Virginia kind of based tobaccos. It is a very smooth and clean smoke with subtle flavourings, but good flavours. I'd say, yeah, at the moment I'm really enjoying it, so thank you very much. And a review will be coming your way very soon. So, I don't know whether anyone would be interested in my YTPC of hearing about my horror-thon journey so far, but I might post a video about a little review of various horror movies I've watched in the first 7 days of October, and see if everyone enjoys it. That's if I have time, anyway. I've enjoyed a very nice morning of catching up on Dale Piper's videos, and he's doing a VR. He's doing a giveaway at the moment, which I'm probably not able to post a video for, unfortunately. So I do apologise, because I've met so many people in my short time on this earth. I can't make a decision on who's the most unforgettable person I've ever met. But never mind, I'll give him a shout out instead. So if any of you guys have never watched Dale Piper, do call into him. His name's John, and he does some fantastic historical videos which are very gentle, very well paced, and he's a master storyteller as well, so definitely call in on him if you get the chance. I'll put his link in the box below. Which brings me to the end of the video, really. I'm now going to show you some footage of Bempton Cliffs, which are some beautiful cliff faces on East Yorkshire, which me and Rachel had the pleasure to visit back in September, whilst the gannets are still nesting. And so I've got some really nice photos of the gannets in their natural habitat, you see. And gannets, if you're not familiar with them, are these amazingly large seabirds which have a lot of tricks up their sleeves for dive bombing on fish and feeding in the sea, in that they have nostrils on the inside of their beaks. They have extra powerful chests to stop themselves getting damaged when they dive into the water. Things are just remarkable animals, really, to view. And so I think this is something that Blackbird Piper will enjoy, because he's a bird lover himself. I think a few people in the YTPC are bird lovers as well. So hopefully you'll enjoy the footage. A cool little thing is, in the Victorian era, it was still a practice for people to lower themselves down the cliff face on ropes and things to actually take eggs or even baby chicks from the nests. And these people were extremely skilled climbers, and and were quite well renowned for the day and actually attracted tourists and things. Though none of that goes on anymore. I think there's some islands in Scotland where this kind of practice still takes place. Maybe the Orkney Islands, but I forget. But anyway, you get an eyewitness account from this bloke here, Arthur Mee. I don't know if anyone is familiar with this in Britain of the King's England series, and I always have one of these to hand because they're quite interesting, because they're books where they record nearly every single village and place in England just before World War II. And so as a preface, Arthur Mee has got a real way with words. He says, the visitation of Yorkshire for the King's England series was completed in the early months of the Hitler War. It's pretty dramatic. And is a picture of the county as it was before the aerial bombardment of the island. It is not possible here to take note of changes the war has brought about in some churches and other buildings. This book stands as a record of Yorkshire before the Blitzkrieg, which is quite cool. But you can find a little entry on Bempton in here, if I can get past York, because York takes a huge amount of space in this book. There's so much to see here. Let me see. And Beverley, for that matter. Bempton. So he says here, yeah, it is a breathtaking sight to see these, basically that's below the cliffs the waves are forever beating, and on their countless ledges are the rough nests of myriads of seabirds, whose eggs are taken by cliff climbers. The rope trick performed here by the village men is one of the sights of Yorkshire, attracting many people in the summer months. It is a breathtaking sight to see these egg climbers lowered down the sheer walls, held only by a rope, as they swing between sea and sky. So it must have been quite dramatic things to see when going out and seeing what they called in the Yorkshire dialect the climbers going down the rock faces to steal kind of birds' eggs and things like that. But luckily the gannets don't have to worry about that anymore, because all they have to contend with is peaceable bird watchers with their binoculars on the cliffs. Anyway, I'll let you see the footage. I'm going to go inside after I finish this pipe, but I'm going to enjoy it. But then, when I get back inside, I'm going to read House on the Borderland, which I'll give a review of at the end of the month, which is a lesser known kind of horror writer called William Hope Hodgson, who is worth a mention if you're into ghost stories and horror stories and things like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the footage of Bempton Cliffs, and see you around.